I was actually like running an art supplier in Atlanta, Georgia, for and started reading some books, started like doing some research, and I just got into it, man. It was just something that I think that was inherently in me, and when I was younger, I was always like, I love photography, I love art, and I just never thought I was really good at it, so I kind of stopped doing it for a long period of time. And then when I started running the art supplier, I just like, as I said before, started researching and studying different artists, and then I just sat down and created like my own styles. But as I mentioned before, it's something that I believe that was inherently in me. Because I believe my work is very spiritual in nature. This, I think, is spiritually driven. I mean, I'm more contemporary driven. With my work, I take like old kind of themes and bring like a new contemporary feel to them. Like you would see a guy blowing like a conch shell, but it's gonna be like three-dimensional and different, and so I just like to bring like awareness that there are other ways of bringing forth subject matter besides what we're used to. If I was supposed to choose a style that I really, really love, I would say like more of my collage stuff, where like this, where I can like encompass all my styles together. Like I would do like a nice little deep pour of the coloring, then I would like encompass like paper and different, elements of them to create that depth, and play with the resin a little bit, just to create a nice flow of color and energy. I mean, it's like everything that I do like merged into one, so that's why I really, really love it. I've done personal murals, and I've also done like murals for the community. I've done one down in Frederickstead, which I used like seven kids from around the island. I mean, it was a very unique experience. That was my first mural that I ever did locally, so it was a challenge, but we got it done, and it's still standing after like 3 hurricanes. I've also done one on Company Street in Christiansted with Stanley and also Bradley Christian, where Stanley is, he's doing like a little set, and Bradley Christian is on the side with his quadrille dancers. I think that was a very cultural piece, and it kind of it pushed it really pushed me. I mean, it took me like probably like 4 months to complete, but I think that it's a very good showing of our cultural, being on the island. When I first started off, I wasn't given the opportunity to, in the States it's very competitive to become a visual artist. So I had to like kind of, pretty much create my own events. And then eventually like, gallery owners were coming to me and they were like, wow, we really like your stuff. And then that's how I got into a lot of galleries, because they saw that, a lot of people don't want to invest in you. They want to see that people gravitate towards your stuff, and then they want to invest in you. So I was always like, the kind of person that did my own thing, As a new blood, because of those trials and tribulations, I wanted to give a platform for new and upcoming artists to be able to be shown with like popular artists. I think that we have an art pool big enough to support, really good fine artists, and this is a way for them to like to be on the game, to come out to the public and show the people like what they do, and that's why New Blood is like, that's like my baby, because I really and truly like love the the energy that it brings, and also like the thought of helping a future artist start their career. So, restaurants and different businesses, art accentuates them. When you walk into a business, you see the wall with beautiful art. You feel more comfortable. You feel more like relaxed in that environment. I think that every business locally should have a piece of local art. In fact, I had a meeting with the governor a few weeks ago, and we discussed trying to implement something with EDC companies when they come down here for our benefits, to have at least 80 or 90% of the art on their wall to be locally sourced, because I think it's kind of like, I would say, disrespectful, because you're gonna bring your art from away and not present like locally. You're trying to come into a place where you want to accept the culture and the people. So I think that having local work done by local artists should be a part of that. Yeah, the Mutiny Vodka project was something that was instituted through a marketing company. So we sat down with Mutiny and discussed like what they wanted on this wall. So it's a huge space, and it has like 2 murals from me. The first one on the main wall was based on like a cultural heritage of us, like the sugarcane industry, quadrille, and also our carnival, our historical fort. So everything kind of like encompasses what we would say is our cultural identity, mused in with, of course, the background of Mutiny Vodka. The other mural was done as a tribute to Island Dairies. Island Dairies is one of the only producers, right? They're the only producers of like fruit juices and like amazing milk. Like, I couldn't drink milk stateside, but I could drink milk down here. I mean, it was just like really good. So it was a tribute to them, and it was like it was a heart and soul project, because Island Dairies meant so much to our community, So I felt very like privileged to be able to actually like put a mural on their old headquarters wall. I've always wanted to be an artist. I was trying to figure out a way, working 9 to 5 and being able to produce art full time. So the company arose the opportunity arose when the company I worked for folded. So I was like, you know what, this is my time to go out there and actually live my dream. So the first few years were a little bit rough, but as I got the hang of it and using my business savvy, I pushed forward and embarked on this journey, and it's been amazing ever since. Young artists just need to stay focused. If you are really like talented in art, I would say go and learn the business aspect of it. You could be the greatest artist on the planet, but if you don't know about marketing, if you don't know about negotiating, if you don't know about setting your prices, the different demographic you're supposed to cater towards, then you're pretty much just going to be a really good artist in your house and nobody's going to know. So definitely, if you're already versed in the art realm, just go out there and learn the business aspect, because that will propel you a lot further than just being talented. Live your dream, push forward. The most you can do is succeed. I think a lot of people, we just look around us and we look at people doing it, but then we think in our mind that couldn't be us, but it can be you. You just have to really focus and really want it. What you really want, the universe will provide for you. You just have to be very open-minded and willing to take risks, and definitely you will see a benefit in taking those risks. For my images, I usually flip through Facebook and also flip through like Google, searching for images. I'm just like going through them, and then something might hit me. It might be like a position. It might be something that I can see, like this woman with something going on behind her, and just like a whole, I just see, I guess, the aura of the subject. And from there, my mind starts to build on what I want that subject to look like. It's a crazy process, but as I look at like if I'm looking at you, I'm slowly building up a painting of you in my mind, And the more the more I see you, is the more I gravitate towards what I want to put down of you. sometimes I'm telling you, it's a very spiritual process, you know. And the good thing about it is like if you have a good aura, you usually get like nice, pretty colors, you know. The bad thing about it is if your aura is not like in the most purest form, you get more dark and, you know, different coloring. But I still make it beautiful, you know what I'm saying? I still try to like, you know, cover over some of that doom and gloom with like pretty colors if I can. But it's definitely spiritually driven, you know, and I feel that when I paint, and as you see, like when I put that on canvas or board or whatever, that's exemplified. So I always try to like push the boundaries and stuff. So next month, I am trying to do something that I think no one else has ever done, as usual. So I'm gonna have 3 shows on 3 different islands in the Virgin Islands. So next month I'm gonna have my first show on St. John at Baja El Sol, and was it April 3rd. So that's gonna be a show that's gonna be like more about my art that's like culturally driven. It's gonna be very interesting. I'm gonna be having it with Albino. Oh my God, I forgot Albino's last name. But anyway, he's like an amazing woodturner. So I am just so blessed and honored to be, you know, showing with him. You know, because he's like phenomenal, and I think he's worldwide, you know, known. So I'm very honored to be doing with him. Then on the 10th, I have my group show in St. Croix, which is New Blood, what we were discussing earlier about, like, you know, the show that I really like put my heart into and soul. So it's gonna have like probably 30 local artists plus myself, and it's gonna be at the Museum Center on April 10th. It should be like it's usually a very good well-attended event, and once again, it gives like acknowledgement to like up-and-coming artists along with professional artists on the island. Then my last show is going to be at 81C, which is a huge contemporary gallery in St. Thomas, and that's going to be on April 17th. I'm really looking forward to that one. That show is going to be called VI Contemporary. Once again, I'm going to bring like a contemporary feel to my cultural paintings, and very excited about that because that will be like my first real solo show on St. Thomas. So all 3 Virgin Islands in 1 month. Yeah.